Hi everyone, welcome to Mrs. Moskowitz's art room. Different place today. I'm outside for a very good reason. I want to introduce you to a very interesting artist who just passed away last week. And his name was Christo. He's known as Christo. And he developed monumental environmental artworks. What does that mean? He would take iconic images and wrap them in different types of materials and make temporary displays of these artworks. As an example, and it's a little windy out here today, but I'm making a point. He would take furniture and wrap it and call this art. And then we get down to the basic question. What is art? Is this art, wrapping something up with paper and twine? And that's a question you're going to have to answer for yourself. A famous quote from Christo was, "The work of art is a scream of freedom." And he worked with his wife Jeanne-Claude, and believe it or not, they were both born on the same day in 1935. And they did all of these works together. They would go, this one is the London Mastaba, which is a floating installation on the Serpentine Lake. And this is made up of 7,000 oil barrels. This is the Reichstag in Berlin. And this one was done in 1995. And you can see it is completely covered with fabric. And you can see how massive it is by the teeny tiny people at the bottom of it. The floating pier, which was made in Italy in 2016, lasted for just 16 days, but it was 10 years in the designing. He used 220,000 polyethylene cubes to float in the water to go out to this island. And you can see the teeny tiny people, so you can see how massive this thing is that they designed. They would not take any donations or anything for their works. The only way that they funded them was through selling their artworks and their pictures of their designs. This one I thought you would find most interesting. It's in Central Park in New York. It lasted for 2 weeks and it took them over a year to put it together. It was started in 2004 and it officially opened up a year later in 2005 in February. It's called the Gates of Central Park, and each one of these panels was 16 feet high and they were around 11 feet wide. They were not allowed to drill any holes or make any permanent damage. They used 5,000 tons of steel and 99,000 square meters of fabric. It cost $5 to $10 million, and they funded it all by selling their artwork. They figured it would brighten the bleak and cold winters in New York. And here's a couple more pictures of it so you can see. These are the barriers, and it went all through Central Park. And on the first day of the installation, all of this saffron fabric is what it's called, but in reality it's orange, went all through the park, and it was a beautiful sight to see. It lasted for 13 days, and that's it. So I'm going to have a challenge for you when we do our project. And I want you to think about different objects that you can tell by sight what they are. Like a chair, like a plant, make other types of plants, things that are common to the eye that we're going to make into sculptures. So I hope you'll bring your imagination. I hope you'll come back and see me again when we do the second part of Christo and Jeanne-Claude, and we talk about environmental sculptures. Thanks for visiting me outside of Mrs. Moskowitz's art room.